You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Days of Our Lives fans, we have got some more scoop from our leaker. Exciting stuff about Philip Kiriakis getting a new romantic interest, as well as a kid being aged up to a teen. Two ladies in peril, and tons more to talk about. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and we are going to dive into all of this, but please click subscribe if you're not following us. So this leak about Philip, Xander, Gabi, and others is a little different from the leaks I usually get from my source. Although it came from my same inside source, I have been told this is all actual spoilers for what's to come and not just a leak that probably will manifest. I've been told these are actual firm spoilers. However, I'm not going to call them official spoilers because I only use that for the things that come straight from NBC Peacock. So first off, if you see any social media from behind the scenes of actors that are currently shooting days, just so you know, they are taping February episodes at the moment. So that gives you a good idea of who's still around, who's still filming for 2026. It's crazy. They're 9 months ahead on their shooting schedule. All right, now let's dig into the juicy stuff. This week on Days of Our Lives, Xander Kiriakis smells blood in the water because DiMera is shot and in a coma, and Kristen DiMera is a suspect in her brother's shooting. Plus, they brought Wei Shen to town, and he's with the DiMera board. Philip Kiriakis brought Wei and Xander the big news that Kristen is down at the police station and may be arrested for EJ's shooting. That's ideal for the guys because Kristen being out of the way means she can't use her votes on this takeover. Wei Shen is going to get to vote her proxy and EJ's, which gives him the lion's share. So we're going to see Xander and Philip over at DiMera Enterprises bringing the scary news to Gabi Hernandez that these guys are her new bosses. That could get contentious fast because Xander and Gabi aren't exactly friends. However, Philip and Gabi have been in the past. So that's the setup for this. So my leaker tells me in upcoming storylines that Gabi is actually going to be conspiring with and working cooperatively with Xander and Philip. And that makes sense because Gabi wants her line Gabi chic to do well no matter who is signing the paychecks at DiMera Enterprises. And she's no fan of Kristen anyway, and she knows which side of the bread is buttered, right? This starts soon, and while Xander and Gabi will reportedly work close together, it's not going to be anything more than a professional relationship between them, totally platonic. That's important to note because Xander and Sarah are about to hit a really rough patch. Once Xander finds out about Philip's forgery and the fraud and that Sarah helped hide it, she and Xander are going to break up temporarily. So in a prior leak, I was told that Philip leaves Salem and May sweeps when he's outed, but he only stays gone a couple of months. So this next spoiler seems to come from the period after Xander finds out, and Philip is reportedly back in the fall to try and make amends with his brother Xander, who he wants a real relationship with. So it seems the Kiriakis hand stays on the wheel at DiMera for a while because later in the storyline coming this fall, Gabi is working closely with Philip. And that sounds like Xander has gone and rehired him at Titan when he comes back around September, is what I've heard. So this new leak says that Philip and Gabi may be more than platonic co-workers. My source said Cherie Jimenez has been filming almost daily with Jean-Paul Lavoisier. In recent spoilers for April, NBC spoilers also say that JJ tries to win back Gabi, which is an interesting spoiler because at the moment they're still together. So the spoilers basically spoiled that JJ and Gabi are going to break up. And I'm sure it's about the EJ shooting. Gabi's going to be a top suspect already. She is having flashbacks to the night he was shot where she was standing outside the mansion staring in at EJ having a drink. But Gabi is just one of several many suspects. But if JJ focuses on her, or if he actually arrests her, that is going to be a romance killer for Gabi and JJ for sure. All right, now let's talk about the kid who's supposed to get a SORAS and come back as a teen. If you don't know the phrase SORAS, it is soap opera rapid aging syndrome, and it's when they age up a kid suddenly and significantly for storyline reasons, usually jumping from, 5 or 10 to like 18 to 25. So I have heard whispers about this before, but now it seems like it's a done deal. We've been told that Arianna Horton, daughter of Gabi and Will Horton, is going to debut as a teenager in the next couple of months. That may throw her in the mix with Holly Jonas, Doug 3, Tate Black, and of course, we'll see if Sophia sticks around after she pops out the baby after prom. Another casting note is that Matthew Ashford is currently filming as Jack Devereaux, and he's doing scenes with Julie Horton actress Susan Hayes. No word, though, on if Jennifer Devereaux is in town with her hubby Jack or not. So nothing on Missy Reeves. Now, back to some Xander-related storyline info. In scripts that they are filming right now for February, we've got Maggie Horton upset at Xander over something. Turns out they're still dealing with fallout from Sarah conspiring with Philip and Kate and lying to him for the stuff they're shooting now, which is all the way into February. So Xander is apparently doing some introspection, and he realizes that his personality flaws are part of why Sarah felt like she needed to lie to him. And the upshot of that and Maggie being upset with him has Xander going to counseling with Dr. Marlena Evans, and he's getting help for anger management. Also, some of Xander's anger issues are down to Sarah being in danger. She and Kristen wind up trapped together in a precarious situation. And in the fallout of that drama, Xander's apparently volatile and struggling because he wants to take out the person responsible. So it definitely sounds like working with Marlena is a good idea. I'm interested to see Philip and Gabi as a possible couple. If you don't remember, they dated several years ago, but they were never intimate. That was back in 2021 when Philip was chasing Chloe. That's when he was like unhinged and completely obsessed. And Gabi wanted to make Jake jealous, so they briefly dated. But then Philip faked his death and framed Brady by leaving his prosthetic leg out. And he was so furious over Chloe that Brady ended up going to jail for a while. And then, of course, Kate helped Philip leave town. And supposedly now he's got his head on straight. We'll see. I do think Gabi and Philip could be a good match because they both like to scheme and they are devious to the core. And that's all the leaks I got for you now.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.